Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the channel. I hope you guys are all having a great day. Today was the NFL kickoff for Week 1 regular season, and I'm going to talk to you guys about the Week 1 Baltimore Ravens preview. They're going against the Las Vegas Raiders tomorrow night for Monday Night Football. And if you haven't already, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and then make sure you turn on your notifications so you can stay up to date with my videos. Thank you again, and let's get started. So how we're going to do this is I'm going to break down the game in a matter of a little bit with the injuries for each team. And then I'm going to talk to you guys about the offense, defense, and then I'll give you my final prediction. So first off, we'll go with the injuries. So the injuries reports as of right now is for the Las Vegas Raiders, Richie Incognito, Roderick Teamer, and Josh Jacobs. Josh Jacobs has a sickness. It's undisclosed or what he has or anything like that. But he's doubtful, or he's questionable right now for the game as of right now. Richie Incognito has been ruled out. And Roderick Teamer, the second, he's a safety. He's been ruled doubtful as of right now. So keep in mind, these things may change. You guys may be a game time decision as we move closer and closer to game time tomorrow night. All right, for the Ravens, Derek Wolfe has been ruled out. Jimmy Smith is questionable, and so is Dalen Hayes, the rookie linebacker. Keep in mind, like I said, these guys are or could be a game time decision. They could be elevated. They could be downgraded. Completely up to the medical staff and where they see these guys fit when it comes down to their medical updates. The two biggest injuries that I think will be hard for both teams to deal with is Derek Wolfe will be a big loss for the Baltimore Ravens because it's going to be hard trying to contain Josh Jacobs. Also, Richie Incognito is going to be a big loss for the Las Vegas Raiders offensive line because, as you guys know, they lost a lot in the offseason doing the free agency and so forth. So, with that being said, I just think Richie Incognito was the last really developed offensive lineman for them. So I just think he brings a little bit of the nasty, kind of like a Marshall Yanda, if you will, for them. I just think they're going to miss that when it comes down to open up lanes or providing the lanes for Josh Jacobs. Now, the biggest injury may change for the Las Vegas Raiders if Josh Jacobs is not able to go. Reason why I say that is because that changes the dynamic of the game tremendously. Does that mean that, hey, Baltimore should have a walk in the park? No. Because as you guys know, just some of the games that happened today, any given Sunday, a lot of things can happen. Well, in this case, it'll be Monday. Any given Sunday or Monday, a lot of things can happen because some teams have prepared to stop certain things that you're strong at. And then they're also prepared to take certain things away from you. So with that being said, you never know what the preparation is for the Las Vegas Raiders. So I expect them to go in. I expect the Ravens to go in, and then I expect a shootout. It's the first game of the season, and everybody kind of wants to put their stamp on the season. As young as it is already, I think everybody just wants to say, hey, look, and let y'all know this is our stamp, and let y'all know we here. We're not going anywhere. So I just look for the Ravens, to come out, and they need to execute when it comes down to winning this game. All right, so moving right along, we talk about the offense, and talk about the offense first from the Las Vegas Raiders standpoint. So from the Las Vegas Raiders standpoint, it's kind of like the Ravens are kind of staring themselves in the mirror because they like to do a lot of the things that the Ravens like to do with the double, maybe even 3 tight end sets. allowing Josh Jacobs to get a little bit more blocking for running room and so forth. These guys like to pull as well. And they're pretty smart about how they open up the lanes for Josh Jacobs to run through and so forth. And then what that turns around to do is open up Derek Carr the options to RPO. He doesn't run it as much. He's agile enough to do it, but he just doesn't do it enough for it to be a thing you have to plan for, a threat. The wide receiver core, you have Ruggs, you have Renfro, you have Willie Snead. I look for those guys to get their chances to shine. The Ravens will give up a few hundred yards in their passing game. The run game is going to be very, very key, though. I'd say if the Ravens surrender, anywhere from 120 or more yards, we could find ourselves in a last-minute possession to try and win this game against the Las Vegas Raiders, because they're going to be fired up. You guys got to remember, the Ravens Stadium is pretty new. The Raiders Stadium is pretty new, and they kind of want these type of wins. The significant wins are not the wins over teams like the Jets or the Jaguars and stuff like that. So they're going to want to get that early significant win in their season, so now they can build their confidence along the way. As far as the Ravens concerned, with their running backs, they have to get going as early as possible. We talking about first drive, second drive. We got to basically resume play, as if you will, from what we did last year and the year before. The magic number is 3,000, and with 550 or 560 carries, like I mentioned in one of my other videos. And on top of this, the Ravens cannot be one-dimensional. The reason I say they cannot be one-dimensional, because then, you start to fall back into the trap of hey, okay, Lamar Jackson cannot throw, or the Raven offense is not pass happy, or whatever it may be. I just think we have to make them play both aspects of the ball when it comes down to defense, passing and running. I do expect Lamar Jackson to have a lot of continuity with Hollywood Brown. The reason why I say that is because you haven't seen him, but now you have other threats that can possibly play alongside with him. Right now, Sammy Watkins is still listed to go. So if he's out there, that should take a huge amount of pressure off of Hollywood Brown and Mark Andrews. So I expect this passing game to be a little bit elevated than what they were. Also, I'm really interested in seeing how the offensive line gels for the Ravens and seeing what they come up with when it comes down to being able to push the ball down the field, as well as their run game and so forth. All right, moving on to the defensive side. The defensive side, the Las Vegas Raiders, they got Yannick Ngakoue. They got a decent secondary. They went out and got a lot of people in free agency. But I will tell you, it's still up in the air what kind of defense they want to become, because you're getting Clelin Ferrell, Yannick Ngakoue, those type of guys that can rush the passer. You have those guys, but then at the same time, you go draft a guy like Trevor Bornwig from TCU, and you try to see what it is you have when it comes down to that type of defense. Are you guys going to go and rush the passer, or do you really want to just sit here and say, hey, okay, look, we're going to defend the pass pretty good. We got people that can run around with you and so forth. So I think the Raiders are still trying to find their identity of what kind of defense they really want to become. They do have some solid pieces over there. And I will tell you, if you get into a passing situation, they can heat it up pretty quick with the guys that they have. The run game has been their Achilles heel. So it is very, very imperative that the Ravens turn around and get that established as quick as possible, so they can kind of put the defense on their heels, if you will. Moving along to the Ravens, the Ravens cannot give up the big play in the passing offense for the Raiders. If the Ravens somehow cannot contain the pass, it's going to be a long night for them. As you guys seen over the last 2 years or 3 years, if we don't stop the pass or control the pass rush or whatever it may be affecting our pass game, limiting it at least, we struggle in those type of games. And part of that is because we don't have a quick hit type of offense, offense that, hey, 2 or 3 plays and it'll get you into the end zone. Now, I will tell you, do we have a strike fast type of offense? Yes, if you're going to play sound football, we can strike fast. However, we don't have the design plays to just be home run shots right off rip. So I look for the defense to basically come out and establish their dominance over the Raiders because Derek Carr, like I said earlier, he doesn't really like to run that much. So I expect them to take advantage of that fully. And then on top of this, I expect the linebacker core of the Ravens to really, really grow up when it comes down to their pass coverage, because that's been one of our weaknesses as well, especially with losing LJ Fort. That hurt because he was one of our best coverage linebackers. So I'm interested in seeing what Patrick Queen has learned over the training camp in this offseason, and I'm interested in learning the development of Malik Harrison when it comes down to playing downhill and playing gap assignments to where he can lay the thump like he used to in Ohio State. And the last guy I'm looking forward to seeing is Jason Oweh or Dafe Oweh. He is basically going to be the missile for Wink Martindale. And what I mean by that is the guy that hey, we get ourselves in second and long, third and long, passing situation. He's the guy that's going to send a lot. I expect them to send him a lot to go get the quarterback because if he's close to that 4.3 speed, like he was initially his draft profile listed him as, then we're going to really need that when it comes down to being able to get the quarterback off his spot. All right, so my predictions for this game, I got the Ravens winning 30-20. I think the Raiders will get a few touchdowns and a few field goals, but I don't see them doing much more than that. I think Lamar Jackson gets 3 touchdowns, probably 2 passing and 1 running. And I just think the Ravens, they have too much. They have too much when it comes down to the offensive firepower. And then on top of this, they have a defense that complements that offense very, very well. So if you guys got any questions, feel free to drop them down in the comments. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.